All right, in this exercise, we're going to be using a translated point to find coordinates of other translated points. The key here is that a translation does the same thing to every point. So let's take a look here. We've got 3 points, A, B, and C. A, B, and C. And let's see, A is the point 0, -2. B is 2, -5. And C is -3, 0. And A has been moved to A prime, which is the point 1, -1. And we're supposed to figure out what's B prime and what's C prime. Okay, so the key here is we've got to figure out what happened to A, and then just do the same thing to B and C. Let's see. So A, 0 went to 1. So that looks like it was we're going to write this down here as a rule. X plus 1. And it looks like -2 went to -1, and that's also a plus 1. So plus 1. Now, one thing that you can do here, by the way, if it was something more complicated, you could remember this. End minus start equals change. End minus start equals change. So if it was ever more complicated than like 0 to 1 or -2 to -1, you could just take I could go end 1 minus 0 equals 1, plus 1. And -1 minus -2, and I plug that into my calculator, and I will get +1. So end minus start equals change. So then we just have to go down here and do the same thing. 2 plus 1 is 3, and -5 plus 1 is -4. And down here, -3 plus 1 is -2, and 0 plus 1 is 1. So our new coordinates are 3, -4, and -2, 1. So 3, -4, and -2, 1. So we have 3 and -4 and oh shoot, I forgot already. I'm slow. -2, 1. -2, 1. All right. -2, 1. And I would encourage you, let's just check, make sure I did it right. Oh, I did. Okay. I would really encourage you to write everything down just like I did here. Write your 3 points, A, B, and C, right? And then A and B and C prime. And you can write down, so you can look here, okay, I went from 0 to 1, and if it's something easy, okay, that's a plus 1. So just write down, what did you do? Plus 1, right? And then down here for the y, you go, well, from -2 to -1, that's also a plus 1. So I could write it down, y plus 1. So now that you have your rule written down, then you can go over and you figure out, okay, now what does that do to these other points? Because if you don't write it down, you'll probably forget, or you maybe get your x's and y's mixed up or something like that. So just write things down. And again, if something's more complicated, then you can always just remember that end minus start equals change, and you can figure out whether you're supposed to, what the change was by taking your ending coordinate, your ending x, and subtracting your beginning x. Or take your ending y and subtract your beginning y. And of course, you want to use a calculator for that. All right. Good luck.